Hi, this is Bill Ezel with Guild Mortgage and ApprovedByBill.com. It's just a beautiful spring day, so I wanted to start by shooting outside. I'm going to cover premium pricing, which is very exciting for agents, but what it really pertains to is I get asked all the time, can I finance closing costs? No, I cannot finance them, but with small rate movements, I might be able to pay them all, or we don't need the seller concession. A couple interesting things that Freddie and Fannie interest rate expectations up to 4.5% by the end of the year. So that's a full 0.5% higher than we are now. So make sure you're telling your buyers and potential move-ups about that. Another interesting statistic that came out is the investor purchases of properties are up 65% from a year ago. Now Denver, we've been getting hit with that for quite a while, but I thought that was a very interesting statistic. And then lastly, NAR put out their percentage for February of contracts that fail, still above 30%. It's at 31%. However, that's why you deal with Guild Mortgage. If the majority of people did that, I'm sure that'd be a much lower figure. It is interesting. Most of it is due to appraisal, which I think in the Denver market, as we're pretty much have hit bottom and it looks like we're getting ready to appreciate, that could be the challenge in the upcoming 12 months. As always, continue to send your buyers to me. They can go to ApprovedByBill.com or call me on my cell, 720-371-4791. Have a great weekend. Okay, this is the boring part of the video, but I want to show you guys how pricing works. Now, at the end, you get to see a cat attacking a Rottweiler, so that's pretty awesome. But when I'm talking about credits, you guys, I send this to the borrowers, by the way, when they take an application with me. But at 3.75, I actually have a 1.5% credit. So if I have a $200,000 loan amount, that's $3,000 that can be credited to your borrower today on a FHA loan. And when we're negotiating for seller paid closing cost on a $200,000 loan, I'll show you here in a minute. But $5,200 I think is about where the real number is. So I can already cover $3,000 for this. So if we get if we negotiate for $6,000 or something with the seller and they cut us in half, I can fill it in. Now, if the seller won't pay anything, then I can go to 4%. If I can get my screen to move here. And then at 4%, I got $6,000. So that's, sometimes you'll hear me talk about how I talk to the clients about increasing the rate to pay closing costs. This is the way it works. I'll show you another example here in a minute. Now, this is on a government. FHA and VA should be pretty close to the same. The other conventional is not quite as doesn't give the same credits. I'll just put it that way. So with conventional, we got to be closer to getting some of the seller paid closing costs, because if I go into a Fannie Mae 30-year fixed at 3.75 on a 30-day, we're actually paying discount. 3.875, I'm actually still paying a discount. At 4, I have 0.75% of this, so in other words, $1,500. So if I have to pay closing cost on a conventional loan, I may have to go all the way to 4.5, and then I got 2.875. So, we jump from 4 to 4.5 on a conventional loan, where FHA it's a much slighter jump. So here's where I came up with 56, 52, about 6,200 really in seller paid or in closing costs, because I'm looking at closing costs plus prepaids on a FHA. So, that's where that 6,000 can come in. And then your buyer's only bringing in the 3.5% if we get it from the seller at 3.75, and on a $200,000 loan, be somewhere around $1,335 on a payment. If I go to 4 to where I pay that, so we were at $1,335, right, on my example, that jumps you up to $1,363, so not that much more. And then I just move it from seller credit to lender credit, and this is exactly how the lender credit and seller credit thing works. I just wanted to show that to you, because sometimes I have agents ask me if we can finance closing costs. We can't, but I can credit it. So hopefully that helps.
Abi çıksana oradan. Çıksana. Cuma bir çık oradan. Bak. Çık oradan Cuma. Ya lan kalkın kalkın. Ahmet abi kalksana oradan abi. Karışmayın karışma. Çıkın lan oradan. Ya karışma abi bir dakika. Ya tutmaz.
Kedi mi köpeği?
Korkudan öldü hayvan baksana daha dik tuttu ya. Baksana köpeğin ne hale geldi. Bu ne biçim bir köpek ya, benim kedi onu parçaladı, bu ne iş ya?
Var ya sen manyak.
Ya bizle ne alakası var?